Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com, and these are the market positions for October the 11th, 2011. Now, to get started this week, again, we've had a very volatile, choppy start to the beginning of the week. I suggested in the Forex Weekly Outlook that we would see the US dollar come under pressure. That does appear to be happening. Now, this should give us a boost to the gold trade. Now, we're going to go back here. Because we've got a higher degree of volatility, we're going to be buying gold, but we're looking at it somewhere where it's less volatile in the iShares COMEX Gold Trust. Now, we were trading this one last week. We know we were buying it off the 1590 area. We've now progressed all the way up to the 1637. Very slow moving, but in my opinion, a very decent investment. We can see the predicted MACD and the predicted TSI are hitting are hitting into oversold territory, and our cross is just starting now. Our predicted short, medium, and long-term differences already pointing up. Our predicted short and medium-term difference breaking above that zero line, which is imperative for a trend reversal here. Now from here, utilizing all of the Vantage Point tools at my disposal, I'm going into the short and medium term crossovers. We can see our short term is crossed over about a week ago when I suggested this trade. Our medium term crossover has now progressed about 2 days ago. So everything looks good for this to move higher. Now the issue is the long-term crossover is not complete. So what we're going to do is, again, we're going to use the daily report from Vantage Point for our entry and our exit. Before we do this, I want to bring up the Vantage Point predicted high and low on the charts. We can see of the last 4 days, we've repeatedly tagged this upper line, and today we've broke clean through it. So with that said, we're now going to go into that daily report from Vantage Point, see if we can fine tune an entry point here for a bigger move. Now for tomorrow, we're going to be looking for a very shallow pullback towards 1617, and again, our day traders, intraday traders, 1644 will be your exit point. But for medium and longer term traders, the possibility remains very high that we are going to return to that $17, $18 mark. So again, medium term traders, short term traders, 1644, 1680, longer term traders, if this trade begins to develop, which I think it will, we should be looking at, again, probably around somewhere between $17 and $18 a share. Now, that's our first position for tonight. Now, our second position for tonight is going to be in the British pound Swiss franc, a very, very volatile cross pair. Now, we want to stay with the primary theme of selling Swiss francs. So in this particular case, we're going to sell them against the British pound. Again, this trade is not for the faint of heart. Very, very volatile cross pair, but we're coming very close to the Vantage Point key support at 140.29. Now our other key levels, 141.91 and 142.41, with a close of 141.55. So there will be no shortage of volatility on this, but the primary trend remains up. We've had approximately a 250-300 point sell-off today in this particular cross pair. I believe it's on an interim basis. It's oversold, and the Swiss franc will come under further pressure. So I'm looking for places basically to buy the Swiss franc. We know that Euro Swiss franc is an excellent trade, and even US Swiss franc is a decent short medium term trade on the long side, but we're going to try the cross pair here. So for, again, we've got our predicted short, medium, and long term differences all still above that zero line. Now looking at our individual crossovers here, we can see our short term is running flat, medium term remains a buy, long term remains a buy. We look at our Vantage Point predicted high, low, and see how it's been. We've repeatedly tagged this upper line. Now today we've had this big drop in volatility, but very, very thin markets today. The Swiss franc strengthening right across the board. Do I think that's going to continue? Very unlikely, with rumors of a peg on Euro Swiss franc being moved to, first the rumor 125, now the rumor I'm hearing 130. So obviously the Euro Swiss franc remains popular, not only on Trader Planet here, but also with my own direct clients, which I advise daily. So again, looking at this trade, we're going to go into the daily report from Vantage Point, and we're going to use the predicted high and predicted low as our entry and exit point. We have 140.49, 143.06. Neural index going from a 1 down to a 0. I believe this one to be accurate because today was, the North American markets were out today. In the major markets, that is, Canada's market completely closed, partial markets open in the US and Europe, so very thin market. So tomorrow is going to be more like the real start of the week. So on a pullback towards this area of 140.49, we're going to use that to get into long positions. Our target 143.06, that's our daily target. Medium and longer term traders, we could be looking at a little bit higher, potentially back towards this 145 level or even higher, because again, if that peg is moved on the Swiss franc, it will weaken right across the board. So that's the play we're looking for here. So with that said, these are the positions for October the 11th, 2011. And again, my name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com.